What's going on, guys? It's Justin Fernio from Pushing Profit. Hope everyone is having a beautiful day today. Now in this video, I wanted to take the opportunity to discuss some psychological trading mistakes that I've made in the past, along with psychological mistakes that a lot of traders are currently making now. I noticed there isn't much information online that really goes in depth with the psychology in trading, and much of the information that really deals with the psychology associated with trading is really just buried in books. Now, me personally, I'm actually a fan of reading books, but let's be real, a great majority of people, they don't want to crack open a book and flip through pages, and that's perfectly fine, because in this video, I'm going to save you guys some time. I'm going to talk about 3 psychological mistakes that traders are making. Now, the first psychological trading mistake that traders make is FOMO trading. Now, FOMO is just an acronym for fear of missing out. Now, when someone is experiencing FOMO, they are generally someone who is overly optimistic for every trade they see and view each trade as an opportunity that they absolutely cannot miss, because they believe an opportunity like this won't happen again. Now, having this mindset can really stifle the success in your trading career, because it can cause 2 things. Number 1, it could cause you to take every trade you see, and number 2, it could lead you to overextending your position size on a particular trade. Now, this is because someone who has that mindset believes that stock is going to pump up and ends up putting 100% of their account in. Now, if they end up right, then cool, they just made nice profits. But the problem with putting your whole account in a trade right away is when you're wrong, because then you end up losing a large amount of money. Now, when it comes to trading, the most important part is mitigating your risk and being prepared if things don't work out the way that you believe they would. And someone who is FOMO trading, they aren't necessarily preparing properly for this. Now, the solution that I recommend for someone who is experiencing FOMO trading is to first become aware and realize that you will never catch every single opportunity out there, and that's perfectly fine, because every single day there are multiple opportunities available. So there is no need to obsess about a particular trading opportunity, because every day more come. Another solution I recommend for traders who are FOMO trading is to stop paying attention to media outlets about the stock market. Every day there's someone on YouTube or some Wall Street article that says, buy this stock, sell this stock. Now, it's cool to read or listen to someone else's opinion why they believe a stock is a good opportunity, but at the end of the day, you never want to be spoon-fed with what trades you should make, and you want to identify yourself what is a good trade. Now, I know to some people, they don't want to hear that, right? But the reality is, if you want to become a successful trader, then at the end of the day, you have to be able to rely on yourself and to make trades, based on what you see, not follow what the crowds do. Now, it's fine to listen to what others are saying, but if you are someone who only makes trades based on what others are saying, the solution is to take a moment back, find some resources to help educate yourself to become more self-reliant as a trader, and that's just my solution for people who are experiencing FOMO. Moving on to psychological trading mistake number 2, and that is revenge trading. Now, this happens when someone blows up their entire trading account, losing a bunch of money, and then throws away everything that they know about proper position size out the window and starts trading irrationally. Now, they do this because they're hoping to make a big win back to cover that big loss. Now, doing this could absolutely crush your entire trading account. Now, I'm going to be brutally honest, and I'm sorry for saying this, but the stock market does not care about you or how much money you lost, and that's the cold, chilling truth. But that's fine, because I'm going to talk about the real solution for this. Now, first off, if you're losing a big amount of money in the stock market, the first mistake that you're making is that you aren't mitigating your risk and cutting your losses early when you need to. You're not always going to be right in the stock market, and that's fine, because if you're wrong, the best thing to do is to cut your losses quickly and hop on to the next trade. For example, when I'm wrong on a trade, I cut my losses at 1%, so that's the most I'll lose, and I'll do this because I want my losses to be small, but I want my wins to be larger. Now, as far as the solution for revenge trading, what I personally do, if I'm, losing on a trade, or, what I do is I take a moment to look back on why that trade didn't work, and I stay cautious on what I'm doing, because if I lost in a trade and then I just got so upset and I threw everything I knew about trading, all my strategies out the window, and started trading irrationally, guess what? All I would be doing is setting myself up for more losses. So just take a step back, see why a trade didn't work, and continue trading with a stable mindset. Trade with logic, don't trade over emotion. And remember, like what Drake said, you win some, you lose some, long as the outcome is income, right? Moving forward to psychological trading mistake number 3, and that is gambler's fallacy. Now, instead of going on Google to see the definition and trying to break it down, I'm going to try to explain as best as I can using this 50-cent coin. Now, as you know, a coin has two sides, heads and tails, so there is a 50% chance that this coin could land on heads and a 50% chance that this coin could land on tails. Now, if I flip this coin 5 times and it landed on heads, and I ask someone, what do you think the next flip will land on? The majority of people will say that it will most likely land on tails, and that's the incorrect answer, guys, because as I mentioned earlier, the coin has a 50% chance landing on either heads or tails, and that's independent of what it did from the last flip. Now, this concept is related to the stock market because if a stock is falling down to a certain point, and you notice that the last time it fell down to this point, it bounced right back up, the majority of traders would assume that getting in at this bottom while it's falling is the right move because at this level last time it supported itself and bounced back, right? And if it did it before, why not do it again? Now, as a trader, you don't want to take these gambles because there's a possibility that the stock could actually just keep going down without bouncing back up, which can cause you to lose money if you enter a position at a falling bottom. So as a successful trader, you don't want to go in at that point. You want to wait for something called a confirmation, a sign that the stock not only touched that bottom, but is slowly moving back up, giving you an indication that that bounce is actually gonna happen. Now, ladies or guys or whoever's watching this, I want to put it out there that the stock market is a numbers game. So you want to do your best to avoid these 3 mistakes as I mentioned earlier and trade with logic. Don't trade with emotion. Now, if you like this video, definitely consider hitting that like button. Maybe subscribe, support to the channel, or actually support your channel, subscribe. I said that backwards. But anyways, you guys know what I'm trying to say. My name is Justin from Push and Profit, and I'm out. Peace.